Perfect. So now we're live. So welcome to class today. Today the topic is the difference between the present perfect and the past simple. All right. So we're going to look at some rules first, and then some examples, and trying to distinguish between the two. Now, sometimes we can use both tenses. They slightly mean something different, but in general, it kind of depends on the situation. Also, to start, I can tell you that as an American, I use the past simple way more often than the present perfect in certain situations, okay? Whereas the British, or anyone from England, or the UK, would use the present perfect tense. All right, so that depends as well. So if I think something sounds correct, it's because I'm American, and other times it's British, so all right, so any questions before we get started? Actually, questions would be better after, but that's okay. Anything to start, or would you like to explain how you think we use the present perfect in the past simple?
Maybe one usage of present perfect is class has just started, kind of, or the things. Yeah.
Class has just started. Okay, good. Yep, that's when something recently happened.
Yes.
Okay, good. I personally would say class just started. So I would use it in just the present, or in the past simple here.
Mm-hmm. So
because to me, the action finished. So
oh.
that's the exact part that I was talking about with American versus British English, for example, is I say the past simple a lot more frequently, okay? Here, class has just started because it's a recent action, and so we'll see how the presentation goes, but that's exactly the difference I was talking about there.
I see. Okay.
Both are perfectly correct. It's just I would say class just started.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. I don't have a. Okay. So you don't hear me very well. Ken, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Today is choppy, but understandable for me. But it's choppy.
Moment.
Okay.
Is that a little better today now?
Yeah, for me, yes. Keep talking.
I keep talking. Oh, sounds like zzz. All right. Well, that's not good. Ken, do you hear the zzz sound as well?
No, from my side, choppy sound stopped. But
Okay.
hold your voice a bit low. Maybe, yeah, than usual. But for me, it's okay.
Low. Okay. Well, let me try a different setting. This is the
Okay.
computer, and I don't know how that's going to work. So how do I sound now? Any different?
Your voice is a bit distant now. But anyway, yeah, understandable. If
Turn
yeah.
up your volume. Okay. So, well, I hear all of you the same, so that's good. All right. Sorry, Ken, I was going to ask you when we were chatting, but actually, no, one moment. I need to, here we go. Now, perfect. One moment. Now I can screen share. Wonderful. And there we go. Okay, so looks like you can see this now. So the uses of the present perfect and past simple. I'm just going to check. Here you can see the whole screen. So that's good. It's a little small, isn't it? Not sure why it's smaller today, but anyway, Ken, can you go ahead and read the present perfect for us?
Okay. Uses of present perfect and past simple. 1. Finished actions. Present perfect. A finished action in person's life when the person is still alive, like a life experience. He's had 3 loans from his bank. example and audio. Past
Yeah,
simple.
that one's not.
Okay. Continue or
You can continue. Yeah, that's fine.
past simple. A finished action in the person's life when the person is dead. My uncle had 3 loans from his bank.
Okay, so this is not a very happy moment, I think, talking about life and death. But as far as English grammar goes, do we have any questions here? There's just a very slight difference. The only difference in these sentences is this, the apostrophe S. Okay. Any questions about that? Because that's has, okay? He has had. And the other is he had. Okay? And so what they're talking about here, the difference is, for example, something happened in the past, okay? Maybe when the person was born, maybe it was a year ago, depending on the context, okay, of the sentence. In this point, in this example, he's had 3 loans from his bank, probably refers to his adult life, okay? However, in his life in general, all right? So the past action starts when he was born, for example, and it's true until now. Okay, does that make sense? Let me try. I normally explain it like, I'm trying to draw a picture in the, what's that? Nope. Like this, all right? I don't know if you can see this in the chat box, but there's the X and then a line, and then a straight line, okay? The X is the moment in the past when it starts, okay? There's no specific time, but that doesn't matter. Then, as you see the line in the middle, that's duration, okay? So from the time he was born to now, that straight line is now, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes. And what is
Okay, that's how I
example?
usually see this.
Sorry.
Yes, Ken?
What is example and audio?
Oh,
Maybe audio sample or something.
yeah, well, there were some audios maybe made or planned to be made that don't exist, I think.
Okay.
So that's supposed to be on audio, but it's not.
Okay.
Okay. And that happens. There's other listening activities with these presentations, but those are impossible unless I read it. So, okay. All right. So good. So he's had is the present perfect. Now, in the past simple, if this person is not alive anymore, everything we say about this person will be in the past because there's no present for this person. Okay, so that's what they're talking about here. Like I said, it's not my favorite example in the world, but so he had 3 loans from his bank. All right, do we see the difference between these sentences?
Yes.
Okay, are there any specific questions at the moment?
Yes, can I use past simple? I can say I completed how can I say to pay back the loan, but I had 3 loans from my bank.
Well, why don't you
I'm
write
still
that
alive.
in the chat box, and then we can examine it a little easier, okay?
I had 3 loans, but I maybe paid back. I'm not sure the English. Paid.
That's okay. That's why we're writing. That's good.
And
It also depends on the context of the sentence, because I have another example that will explain something a little differently.
Like this.
But I paid them back. Okay, good. Yeah, I had 3 loans, but I paid them back. You're using the past tense here. That's fine.
Okay, so in this context, I'm still alive.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
You're still alive, kid. And it's not always in this context, okay? You could also say I had 3 loans, but I paid them back, for example. Okay, so you talked about the duration of the time that you had the 3 loans.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 7 years ago you had 3 loans for your house, car, and I don't know, you got married, for example. I don't know.
Past
Okay.
perfect is good for this meaning. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Also, if you want to refer to the duration of time that you had the loans.
Okay. Yes.
I have had loans in a bank, but I could paid a few days ago. Okay, so let me correct the sentence first. I had loans at the bank, whoops, but I could pay would be in the base form, not in the past, but I paid them a few days ago. I understand the meaning of the sentence, but the correct sentence should be I have had loans at the bank, but I paid them a few days ago. This is more like the recent action. This is just like when Ken said class has just started. Okay, it's something recent. Even though it was a few days ago, it was still something recent. Okay. And then could, for grammar, we use the base verb. Okay, so we could pay, for example. But if you paid it in the past, a few days ago, and that's what I wanted to refer to. For example, I had 3 loans last year. Okay, we're using the past simple in this case because last year is our time clause. When we talk about last year, we're talking about the whole year in the past. Last year's finished, we are now in this year. Okay, so that's the other difference. Add, if we use yesterday, for example, I had a cookie yesterday. I have had 3 cookies today. Okay, if we look at these 2 sentences, the first one is yesterday. All right, so finished. Yesterday's finished. We're in today. Okay, so everything I say about yesterday, not everything, but more or less, depending on the context, we'll say in the past simple. Now, with the other, I have had 3 cookies today. All right, well, the action first started today. Well, today was midnight or 12:01, okay? Until now. Today is not finished, and I might have some more cookies. And so this goes back to my kind of X line and then straight line of the action happened in the past when today started. However, today is still continuing. It's not finished yet. Okay, does that make sense? Are there any questions about those sentences?
No for me.
Okay. All right, Hacken?
No, thanks.
Okay.
I got it completely.
Perfect. Well, in that case, let's go to this one. So, Hacken, can you please read this slide for us?
Okay. Present perfect. A finished action with the present. I have saved 1,000 euros money now. So can I continue the next?
Yes.
Yeah. Past simple action with no results in the present. I saved 1,000. So it means I don't have the money now.
Okay. So I'm going to slightly disagree with the last part only because there's no context here. Okay, I mean, even though it says a finished action with no results in the present, it's not telling me what exactly. If I say I saved 1,000 euros last year, perfect. However, I need a time clause in that sentence for me to completely agree with it. Okay, that's my only disagreement. Ken, do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so any questions about these examples? Again, I've saved, okay, because it's I have. Now we use has before, but that's for he, she, and it, okay, as it's an irregular verb. So any questions about this? I like the first example of the present perfect because the action started, we don't know when, at some point. Maybe it was last year, maybe it was, again, when they were born, we don't know. But until now, okay, is the most important part. So there's duration involved, okay? Any questions with these examples? Or if you have any questions, I'm sorry, Ken?
As you said, last sentence, I saved €1,000. I don't have the money now. Okay, it's a continuous sentence. So we can say like that, example sentence. Because save the past simple itself doesn't have this kind of connotation. But we can continue a sentence like this.
Right.
Okay, I got it.
Like I said, I saved 1,000 euros. To me, it doesn't give me context. And so that's why I'm not 100% with this sentence. I saved 1,000 euros last year to go on a trip, for example. And I don't have the money now because I went on a trip. Okay. So I need a little bit more context. Or for me, the context, I saved 1,000 euros because we have a trip next month. Okay, so I do have the money in that case. So it depends on the context, honestly. That's what I'm trying to say here with the past simple example.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Also, if you have any specific questions or examples, and why do you say it like this? Okay, let me know. Okay, go ahead, just type it into the chat box, and we'll talk about those as well. So moving on to the next slide, we have unfinished actions and finished actions. All right. So Ken, can you go ahead and read this slide for us?
Okay. Present perfect. Unfinished actions that start in the past and continue in the present. I've known my bank manager for 10 years, and I still know him now. Present simple. Finished actions. I knew my bank manager for 10 years, and then I moved out of the country, and we don't speak.
Okay. So again, unfinished and finished actions. Unfinished actions are with the present perfect, okay? As we said, the action happens in the past, continues until now. It's not necessarily finished, okay? So I've known is perfect, my bank manager for 10 years. And I still know him now, right? That's perfectly fine. Any questions with that sentence? Okay, doesn't look like it. And then the finished actions, like I said, when we used yesterday, last year, a couple days ago, something like that, the action's finished because that time period has finished. So I knew my bank manager for 10 years. Now, maybe you didn't leave the country, but maybe you just changed jobs, for example, okay? So that's another difference in the context, okay? For example, I knew my bank manager for 10 years. then I moved to a different company. Okay. Any questions with this?
Yeah, I have the past simple. In mind, so as it means, and then I moved out, or we don't speak. Maybe we can be in contact with the manager that we uh, 10 years ago.
I actually didn't understand you very well. There's not, I think the connection's not great. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I couldn't I couldn't know pretty good the meaning of that is about the past simple. Uh, uh, Here, my bank manager for 10 years, and then I moved out of the country, and we don't speak. Maybe we be in. It can be.
Well, it has to be in the past simple because for those 10 years, even though there's duration, the 10 years has ended. Okay? And you don't speak anymore now. Now you don't speak. And so there's no continuation like in the present perfect, where it says it's unfinished actions that start in the past and continue in the present. Here, those 10 years has finished. And so that's why you're using the past simple here.
Okay, I
Does
got
that
it.
make
Thank you.
sense? Do you understand that? Okay. All right, good. So if no more questions, I will move on to the fourth part. Unfinished and finished time words. Okay, this is what I was talking about before. Hacken, can you read this slide? I think it's your turn, right?
Okay, number 4, and finished time words. We use unfinished time. Example, this Monday, I spent 100 years this week. So it's simple. We use first example last month where I spent.
Okay, so again, a little difficult to hear you, but more or less. And so this is what I was talking about before. For example, this month isn't finished. We're, at least for my time zone, on the 10th, okay, of April. And so it's not finished yet. This week, we just started this week. All right, so it's obviously not finished. One thing I'd like to comment is, well, actually there's two things. So here in Spain, their calendar day starts on Monday, okay? In the United States, the calendar starts on Sunday. And so when I refer to the week, here in Spain, it's Monday to Sunday, and then in the US, it's Sunday to Saturday, okay? So depending on where you're from, your week might start and end on different days, okay? And so when I say this week, well, today in Spain, it's the first day of the week. Yesterday, the week started in the United States, okay? And what they refer to are the 7 days of the week, all right? And there, I knew I was going to forget the other thing that I wanted to say. Turkey, the week starts, okay, the week starts on Monday. Good. In Canada and Japan, what day of the week do you start with?
Sunday. And in the past,
Sunday.
no Sunday here actually. Every day working day, but maybe the old Japanese just works 3 or 4 hours in a day.
Oh,
So
but every day.
Every day, yes. Except New Year's days or such kind of holidays.
Holidays, okay. Interesting. Okay, good. I'm going to try and remember what I wanted to say. I knew I should have written it down. Okay, so a little bit different, but if I say this week or the last week. Okay, so this week, for example, today is Monday to Sunday. All right, we'll say. If I say, oh, this past week has been very difficult, for example, I'm talking about last Monday to today, okay? This last 7 days. Not just last Monday to Sunday. Does that make sense? Last week I was in Madrid, for example. I'm referring to the full last week. Does that make sense, or am I? It's confusing because today's Monday. If today were Wednesday, for example, okay, I would say, oh, this past week has been very difficult for me, lots of work, blah, blah, blah. So it'd be Wednesday, from last Wednesday, the last 7 days. Okay?
Yeah, maybe that is a confusing part, The week starts from Sunday, but since Sunday is a holiday, so many people think Monday is the starting day of the week. So maybe such kind of misunderstanding often happen in Japan, I think.
Okay. Well, here in Spain, like I said, the calendar actually starts on Monday. So it's just one of those differences.
When I see the Japanese calendar now in my room, yeah, weeks start from Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that's just like the United States.
Some confusion, yes.
It is. I know. But Sunday is like a resting day. To me, it's not. I start the week on Monday. Even when I was in the United States, I felt like that. But interesting. Yeah, so that's a cultural thing. But anyway, so continuing on with the presentation, because if the last week is past week, don't worry about that. Okay. And then, so I spent 100 euros this week. This week hasn't finished yet. Okay, that's what they're saying here. And with finished words last month, last week, yesterday, these moments or days or time periods have finished. They're finished, complete. Okay, so I spent 100 euros last week. We are now in this week. Okay, so last week I spent 100 euros. Okay, any questions here?
Yeah, I have a question about the spend 100 euros this week. Did I spend 100 euro before finish it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, did I spend 100 euros before the week finish it?
Okay, well, in the first week, in the first example, I've spent 100 euros this week. Well, because today's Monday, for example. Let's say today's Wednesday again. Okay, seems to work out. Wednesday is today, for example. Okay. I've spent 100 euros this week. The week has not finished.
So we have
okay.
still, yeah. So we have still use pocket or in my pocket spend for this week.
Right. Well, we're using the present perfect because it's unfinished time. For example, if I say I spent 100 euros today, we're still using the present perfect because today hasn't finished. Okay.
Okay.
If I say this tomorrow,
Yeah, I'm talking just about the money spent today. So the day is not still finish it. I want to ask about the 100 euros. Did I spend 100 euros before the day finish it?
Yes, for example, I wrote I spent 100 euros yesterday. So then I'm using the past simple because that day has finished. That specific yesterday finished. Okay. If I say I've spent 100 euros today, the day has not finished yet. Does that answer your question? Because it's the finished or unfinished time. Okay, so if it's still today, well, it's obviously still today, we have many more hours. And also it depends because, for example, if it's after midnight, okay, midnight is when the time changes from one day to the next. And last night it was after midnight and I said, oh, I have to wake up early tomorrow. And I said, well, it's already tomorrow because of the date. This week, did I spend? The day isn't important in that case. It's just the week. Maybe you spent 100 euros on Monday, but it's still this week. Maybe you spent 20 euros every day, and so you spent 100 euros this week. Okay, so the day isn't important in that context. Okay. Ken, any questions about anything? You're pretty quiet for right now.
No. Yeah. Thank you. I have no questions now.
Perfect. Well, it looks like all that is finished. So let's go to this one. So this is present perfect or past simple. So let's just talk about I've borrowed money from my friend this morning. Which one, PP or PS?
Present perfect.
Very good. And this is, yeah, perfect, because it's I've borrowed. Okay, I've had a mortgage for 3 years.
PP.
Very good. I had a mortgage when I was younger.
PS.
Good, because we just have had here, and also here is another verb in the past simple. Okay, so even though it's not 10 years ago or something like that, it's when I was younger. I'm not young anymore. That time's finished. So that's why we're using the past simple. Okay. And the next, my friend has used so many types of currency. Which one? PP, PS?
PP.
Very good. Present perfect, has used. Okay. Any questions here? Looks like Hacker, you did pretty well there too. All right. So let's move on. Same thing here. I spent a lot of money last year.
PS.
Good. Perfect. Spent, yeah, there's no verb have here, so that's fine. And we're using last year, so the time is finished. Okay. I've invested 1,000 euros in my friend's company.
PP.
Perfect. Okay. I have invested. Very good. And that's still until now. So you did it, and it's still true for you today. I lost some money yesterday.
PS.
Good. Past simple. I lost money, and also we're using yesterday. Now, if I have the example, I've lost some money with no context, I'm going to use the present perfect tense because it's unfinished time. Okay. So I just wanted to show that example as well. Last one here, number 8, my grandmother gave me money many times.
PS.
Okay, good. Yep, a past tense here. Actually, and personally, I would almost use my grandmother has given me money many times because she started when I was younger and it still happens now. Or maybe it doesn't happen anymore because maybe grandma isn't alive anymore. So depends on the context here. Okay. All right, let's see here. So for time references, all right, present perfect or past simple for 5 years.
PP.
Okay, Hakan, do you agree or disagree with that?
For 5 years, I might agree with.
Okay, I'm actually going to disagree because 4, 5, well,
For 5
no, I'm going to 4 or 5 years. It depends on what I need a sentence with this, okay? Because with 4 or 5 years, I can use the past perfect as well. I had lived in Spain for 5 years. I have lived in Spain for 5 years. So this depends on the context, or I lived in Spain for 5 years, okay? It's okay, Carmen, no problem. So it depends on the context here. Okay, because we're using the present perfect and the past simple, again, I can use both of them.
Does it mean if I say I lived in Spain for 5 years?
Finished action. I have lived unfinished.
Okay, so simple past connotates you are not are living Spain anymore.
Correct.
Maybe you moved. Got it. I see.
Okay. Good. So that one is difficult. That one's both. All right. What about 5 years ago? Are you going to use the present perfect or the past simple? 5 years ago? Yeah, exactly. The time has finished, and it finished 5 years ago. Okay. What about this year?
Both.
I think it's PP.
Okay, so we disagree here. My first idea was present perfect because this year it's unfinished. Okay.
Yeah.
Ismail, nice to see you. This year. So I would say more present perfect. However, I went to this year. I went to Brazil this year because you went and you came back, and so the trip finished. However, it's still in this year. So I'm going to say that's both as well. Okay. All right, and then lately, are we going to use present perfect or the past simple?
Maybe PS? No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Lately means recently. Okay, just as the example at the beginning of the class was, the class has just started. So it's something recent, so I would say present perfect. I've been studying lately. I studied lately. No, so present perfect here. Okay. Any questions?
So if I say I went to the US lately, that's wrong. Okay.
Correct. That's wrong.
It's wrong. Okay, I got it.
All right, good. Let's go ahead to the next one here, and same thing. Last night, present perfect or past simple?
Past simple.
Correct. Last night finished, so past simple. The day before yesterday.
Past simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Past simple. Yeah, the day before yesterday, 2 days ago, finished. All right, this month.
This month, I think.
Present perfect. Hasn't finished yet.
Exactly. Thanks, Carmen. And then at the weekend.
Present perfect.
Present perfect. Does anyone have any other opinions?
At the weekend.
Present simple. So past simple. Here.
I think it can be both, depending on the context. So at the weekend, I did this. I went somewhere, so it's past simple. I have been studying, or I have studied at the weekend, depending if it's a recent action or not. Okay, so I would say both.
John Lewis.
All right. Any questions about that one? Does anyone disagree with me? Okay. Good. Well, there's one more slide here. Perfect. So we have to correct these sentences. Use contractions where possible. Not super important for me. Okay. So example, I had a sandwich today. Technically, it should be I've had a sandwich today because today has not finished. Okay. I've saved money last year. How should we correct this? You can write your answers in the chat box. Okay. I've saved money last year. How should we correct this sentence?
I think, yeah, I think it could be past simple.
I said
Past simple.
money.
Exactly. I saved money last year. Last year is finished. So we're using good, Ken. Perfect. Okay. What about she wasted money this month? She wasted money.
I think it is correct on this month for the present perfect tense, as it depends on contact.
Okay, well, this month hasn't finished. All right.
Yeah.
If it has finished, then it's last month. So we need to use the present perfect. It should be she's wasted money this month. Okay, so the present perfect. Any questions? Okay. And number 3, she's spent a fortune yesterday.
You've got to use the past simple.
Exactly. She spent a fortune yesterday. We'll take off the apostrophe S, which is has for the present perfect. This we don't want. Okay. And this last sentence, I'm not sure if you can see the very end. It says, I've applied for a bank loan 5 years ago.
That's simple too. Because already finished. I applied.
Exactly. I applied. Perfect. All right. Yeah, the ago isn't correct there. Yeah, good. Perfect. Well, I'm going to stop sharing this because we're actually finished for today. We've done all of the presentations. Hi, everybody. Now you can see me. So any questions? Is it more clear now? And Carmen and Ismail, because you joined late, which is perfectly fine. I'm glad
That's all right.
That's okay. You can always watch it. Okay, you can go to the Intengo website and watch it on there. Thomas sometimes puts the link on Facebook. Also in Facebook, I think last that I did on Saturday, he put that link there, so you can watch that. So use Facebook, the Intengo website. Okay. Questions about anything? Let me just check my next class, Wednesday.
Yeah, I checked the website. Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I was about, Becky, I was about to ask you that. When is your next class then?
April.
Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you.
From 3 to 4 Spain time. The correct time will be in the Intengo website. We'll be doing a reading about money. Okay.
Perfect.
Well, it was wonderful to see all of you. Well, it's nice to see you in live person. It's been a long time. I'll do classes on Monday at this time from 11:30 to 12:30 Spain time. Okay, so if you have any questions, we'll do classes here. And Thomas should have at least this week's classes on the Intengo website. Okay, so I have Wednesday, and then the next class will be on Sunday. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he might change the website from Intengo to another site. But he's
going to change it. He will maintain the Intengo website. The other one is just specifically for his academies in Germany.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome, Ismail. Wonderful. Well, everyone have a great Monday. even though Mondays aren't the most fantastic days ever in the world, but hopefully it's very good for all of you. All right?
Okay,
Thank you,
too.
everybody. Thank you, Becky. Have a nice day, all.
You're welcome. Thank you, you
Thank you.
too. Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Take care.